back to Tibra's Den, everyone. My name is Whitney, and welcome to today's CAS Monday. I'm pretty excited about today's video. When I came up with this idea, I was really excited to make these characters, and I actually really love how they turned out. But one of the things that makes me really think about the holidays and Christmas and is Hallmark. The Hallmark Channel Christmas movies are some of my favorites. I know they're really cheesy and they're pretty, for lack of a better word, kind of whitewashed. They don't have a lot of diversity to them, but I don't know. They give me all the good feels, and I absolutely love them, and I know a lot of people do. And so I wanted to create the classic Hallmark characters that you see in these movies. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of diversity to them, and they typically have the same type of woman and the same type of man, and they fall in love. I am happy. I didn't read it, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but I saw something that they have their first gay couple that they've done for a movie, and so I thought that was really cool. You know, yes, it's a little bit late to the game, but the fact that they are trying to change a little bit and become more inclusive, I think is pretty cool. Like I said, I could be wrong. It could have been, some fake article. I saw it on Facebook, so who really knows? But if that's the case, I think that's pretty cool that they're trying to branch out a little bit. But that's how I wanted to create it today, since the holidays, Christmas is coming up. I really wanted to create these characters. So first off, we have Carolina Flynn, and she's kind of my more laid back character. They always have like two kind of opposites. Kind of a workaholic, more focused on career, and then the more laid back, quiet character. Sometimes they have like just two small town characters or something like that, but anyway, Carolina here is my laid back character. She wants to be a painter extraordinaire. She's an art lover, she's creative, and she is cheerful. And so she doesn't have a lot of ambition for herself. Like, she wants to paint and just earn enough to make a decent living, live comfortably. But she has no want to be like super famous or make a whole lot of money or anything like that. She just loves to paint, and she's very thankful that she's able to earn a living off of what she loves to do. And I can picture, obviously small town, so teaching, the local kids how to paint, something like that. Like that's her character. Very laid back, down to earth. I did struggle a little bit with some of her outfits and such, mainly because even with the laid back characters, a lot of times like they have like these wow outfits, like, oh, really showcase, that they're not just like this country bumpkin type character. I don't know how to explain what I was trying to capture, but you'll see, like, especially with her formal look, like, it's kind of very different from the rest of her looks. But I think there's always that moment in the movies, where this character dresses up and goes to a fancy event, and the other love interest is just like, wow, they're so beautiful, like they weren't beautiful before. I don't know why I love them so much, but I do. So that's kind of what I was trying to capture with her, kind of like down to earth, artsy type vibe, but still also kind of like a cute and stylish aspect to her. And then of course, her bombshell moment, which I did for her formal look. I figured that would be a good place to do that. So right now I'm just going through to give her eyes, of course. And so you can see I went very kind of classic girl next door type vibes, blonde hair, blue eyes, very cute with the pigtail style, just very innocent kind of looks to her, which I think is definitely kind of what Hallmark gravitates to. Is kind of like an innocent girl next door type vibe, or the corporate woman type vibe on the other end of this spectrum. So uh, here I'm trying to find something that's kind of, like I said, put together and polished, but still laid back. And I actually placed these guys down in Willow Creek, right next to my spinster sisters and across from my suburban family. So I think they fit in really, really well there as well, especially their styles. You'll see the neighbors, of course, the welcome wagon when I was playtesting came over, and they all like look the same. Like the same type of characters. Even the spinster sisters, which is funny because they're supposed to be kind of the outcasts, but they did also grow up, in that neighborhood. So it's just kind of funny to see all those characters together and how much they all kind of look alike and kind of fit the same mold. I wasn't doing that intentionally, but it definitely happened. And so originally I was trying to go with like a skirt vibe. I really like some of these skirts, but I really wanted to use this top, and I just didn't like the way it looked with any of the skirts, and it wasn't giving me, the right kind of vibe for her. And so I ended up not using any of these skirts, even though I really, really wanted to. You can see I'm trying all the different skirts on her. I probably could have gone with something a little shorter that might have worked, but I don't know. I wasn't liking how it looked, and so I ended up going with like a pair of cutoff jeans, I think. And of course, CC those crop a little bit, but these are the jeans I ended up going for. Thought about overalls. I thought that would be a cute artsy vibe, but I just didn't like it with this top, so I ended up not going for that. And then I do end up using these shoes here. I try on several other different flats. I definitely kind of got the more flat vibe from her than, heels or anything like that. So I was just trying to find some flats that I like to go along with that. But I ended up using the kitty cat ones, which I think are really cute, and I think it takes a specific type of sim to pull those off without being too tacky, and I think she definitely can. So yeah, that's her everyday look, and now we are on to her formal look. And like I said, at first I wasn't really sure what I wanted to go for. I knew I wanted that wow factor, and so I was trying to find the right dress, but without being too much. Like this one is way too princessy. That one's too glamorous. I wanted something that was wow, but would still kind of fit her. That one, the previous one, would have been a good choice. This one was too simple, and so yeah, I was just kind of playing around trying to find. And then I came across this one, and I thought this was nice. It's definitely wow factor, but it's modest enough that, and simple enough, that it still works for her, I would say. And so that's the dress I ended up going for. And then, of course, I had to do her hair in a different style, which was a little bit of a struggle, but I managed to find one which matches well and looks good. Some of her hairstyles, because I switched it up quite a bit, because I think they definitely do that in Hallmark movies, to kind of fit the scene that they're going for. They kind of switch up the hairstyles. And so I tried to do that, for her athletic wear is different than, the rest of her wear and things like that. So I definitely, for her formal look, wanted a nice updo. And this is the one I ended up going with, which I think works really nicely. Of course, a nice pair of earrings. I was going to give her a necklace, but I think it kind of took away from the dress a little bit. And so I wanted to keep it simple. And so I just went with the dress. And then I was able to actually find lipstick that matched. And I love the new sliding scales because it makes it so much easier, because sometimes you find a color but it's just too much, and so with the sliding scales you can really tone it down a little bit, which I think is wonderful. I'm really glad they incorporated that into the makeup, along with the skin tones when they were doing the skin tones. So I think that's pretty cool of them. And then of course some eyeshadow. I didn't want to go too heavy on her makeup, but it definitely needed to be there, and so this is what I came up with for her formal look. And athletic wear, again, I went very cutesy, kind of matchy, so I used this hood right here, this little sweater thing. And then I used this hairstyle. It's a little bit different, but I think I got the color close enough. It works, and maybe, it looks like maybe she was a little sweaty or something. But, and then, definitely matching little leggings there and matching shoes. Like I said, very, very, very matchy here, which is a lot, but it's very cutesy, and I think, kind of looks stylish. Like it looks like it fits. So, sleepwear, I went ahead and changed her hair for this one as well. And so I did like a down style, which I think works nicely. I had a little trouble with her pajamas. Um, again, I want something not too over the top, but also kind of has like a cutesy element to it. So I like these pants, but I was having trouble finding a top that went with them. So I ended up just doing a long sleeve white shirt in the end. I thought that went fine with them. And then she has the bunny slippers, of course. So this is what I ended up going with here. And then I just give her the bunny slippers. Like I said, very kind of innocent girl next door. Nothing too risque or anything like that for our Hallmark heroine here. And then, like I said, I knew I wanted kind of a down-do, and so this is what I came up with for her sleepwear. And party, again, wanted to change it up a little bit. And I can't remember, this is the hair I went with. Again, kind of a difference between, the Maxis stuff and then the Alpha stuff, but it's still, I got the colors as close as I could, but I really wanted to change up her hair, and I figured for a party she would have a different hairdo for that as well. And then this dress that I had come across for the formal look, I originally wanted to use this, but it wasn't, it was too formal. It wasn't formal enough for my formal look that I was going for, but it was a little too formal for like her party wear. So I ended up not using it at all, which was kind of a bummer. I really like it. I'm pretty sure this is from the custom content pack. One of the ones Deligracy did with Grim Cookies. I can't remember for sure because I downloaded a bunch of stuff all on the same day. So I'm not positive, but I'm fairly certain. I would say 90% certain that was one of the packs from Deligracy and Grim Cookies, which I really love it. It's simple, it's clean, but like I said, it was just not quite right for what I was going for her. And so here I ended up using this top, which I liked, and then just a simple pair of skinny jeans. And then it was just a matter of finding the right shoes, which again I struggled with. I really wanted something to kind of match the top, but I don't like black on black, so putting black boots with the black leggings I didn't like, which is silly. It looks fine. I don't know why I don't like that. And so I really struggled here, and then some of the ones that were the right color was just way over the top for this character in specific, so it was just like, can't use that. I ended up finding some sandals that had some pink and some silver on them, which I really liked. I thought about using these sandals here, which is a custom content piece, but I didn't like them. I couldn't get the right color swatch that I thought went well with the outfit, and so I ended up not using those, even though they're super cute. And I'm definitely gonna have to use them at some point for one of the Sims I create, but it just wasn't right for this character, I didn't feel. And so I'm back at it trying to find the right, and so I ended up just going through, filtering by pink, and again just really struggled, which is super frustrating. These were matched, but they were too much, and so these ended up being what I went with, those sandals there, which I thought worked nicely. And then I just needed to find some earrings to kind of match, and just put on some makeup for her, which it is a bit of a struggle sometimes. Like some of the swatches, it's just there's too many differences, and it's really frustrating. So But I think I liked how this turned out. And now just her makeup, which again managed to. This one's a little bit heavier in the makeup department. But for a party look, I thought I wanted to go a little bit more, and this might be another wow moment in the movie, or maybe this is where they meet, and he sees her across the room or whatever. The classic movie trope. But yeah, so that was her party look, and now we are on to her swimwear. And again, I wanted something feminine, but not too revealing or anything like that. And so I ended up going with this little cover up, and then just this top here. Pretty simple for her swimwear. And then her hot weather wear, I think it's really cute. There's a denim skirt which I always want to use, but it never quite works, and I was able to use it for her. I think it works really well, and it looks cute, and it works with this top and everything. And so I was really happy to finally be able to use that, because I love it, but I just always put it on and I never like it, and so she gets to use it, which is great. But yeah, that's her hot weather look. I thought about using that cute little skirt there, but you really need a tucked in shirt for that one, so to show off the belt, and that's another custom content piece. And now just a matter of finding the right shoes. I think I just used flip flops. Pretty basic for summer wear, nothing too over the top. And then of course I need to put on some nail polish for her, and then some makeup, and earrings, which I used these heart earrings, which I think were cute as well. Oh no, I did not use the heart earrings. I was going to, and I ended up not. I just used these little earrings here. That's right. I wanted to use the heart earrings, but I don't know. I thought it was too much with the design on the top. Like, I don't like a lot of clashing elements that just like, look at me, look at me. So I ended up taking off those heart earrings. And then for her cold wear, I was so happy to have the snowy escape stuff, because it works perfect for our Hallmark heroine. Very, very cutesy, very wintry, and I just love it. So I went with this jacket here, and then just some snow pants, and the matching snow boots, of course. And then she needed to have gloves, and you know, classic winter, and then definitely a hat, which I always want to use a hat too, and I never do. And so I was happy to be able to use a hat on her. And I thought about doing the palm. I just don't like how they sit. They really need to be lower on the Sim's head. And so I ended up not using the palm beanies at all. I ended up using just a simple black one. And then some snowman earrings. I definitely did heavy blush since it's winter. And that's Carolina. I really, really like her. And like I said, she's just a small town artist. Happy to be making a living off her love for painting. So now enter Joel Anders. I went ahead and made him married just because I don't want to go through the whole storyline, with the meeting and everything, and I didn't want to really create two households. So they are married now, but this is Joel Anders, and he wants to be fabulously wealthy. He's self-assured, he's ambitious, but at the heart of it, he is a good sim as well. And I really wish they had something career oriented besides fabulously wealthy. I really wish that was an aspiration, because just because you want to be successful in your career doesn't mean it's about the money. And that is Joel. Like, he's really ambitious, and he wants to succeed in his career, but it's not about the money for him. Like, he doesn't care about being rich. He just wants to be super successful. And so he's actually trying to sign our artist here. And so he comes to the small town from the city, and his goal is to get her signed. His boss is really on him that they need this artist. She can bring in a lot of money for them, and she's amazing, and they could really sell her work. So it's his job to get her signed and get her on board with their firm. And so I actually give him the public relations career when I'm playing them, and so that's his job, is to kind of get her signed and then just represent her as an artist and sell her work. But he has quite the task ahead because she's not interested in that. She just wants to paint and make a little bit of money to live comfortably. And so of course I had to go like classic looks for him. Hallmark men are always like the perfect balance of good looking, nice strong jaw, buff but not too much, like very handsome but not over the top at the same time. Like you all know what I mean. And so I was really trying to go for that aesthetic for him. And then for his look, which you'll see here in a second, I was trying to I wanted to capture like the businessy aspect, but a little bit more laid back. And so you'll see touches of that with his different outfits. Like, yes, it's business attire, but there's little details here and there that he's not as uptight and corporate as you might think. And so first off, have to give him eyes. And I thought about going like with blue or green, but I think that's, I've done that a lot, and especially she already has like the classic, blue eye, like, and so I want to go just with a pretty brown for him. Like, I love brown eyes, and I think they're a little bit underrated, and so that's what I went for, and I think it works with his looks as well. So I kind of went with this lighter brown color, which I think is super pretty. And I really like how he turned out. And then lashes were a bit of a struggle um, to find the right ones. I don't have good ones for men. Appears I only have a couple options for men. I don't have that many options for women either, but I have more than I do for men, and so I of course had to put those on as well as I headed back to his everyday look. But yeah, this is Joel. I think he's super cute, and I think he would make a good Hallmark hero for sure. So that's what we're doing, and we just gotta now create his outfits, which again, I try to go businessy, but little clues that he's not quite as uptight as you would think. And that was kind of hard. Like, it was definitely a fine line, I would say, to find the right look. And especially because with a lot of my men, I'm really kind of struggling with my men lately. And I think that's because with a lot of them, I am using like the button up shirts. And so it's kind of getting redundant. And so if you have any tips for kind of different aesthetics I can do, definitely let me know. And I think part of it too is I like that button up shirt look. Like, I like that. I don't really like the t-shirts or the more sporty looks or anything like that. And so I think that's kind of hard for me, and it's already harder for me to create male sims anyway. And so any tips or tricks you guys have to kind of mix it up a little bit when I'm creating my male sims, definitely let me know. But you can see I'm going through so many different outfits here, just trying to find the right look for Joel. Like, it was really really tough. But I think in the end I'm pretty pleased with how he turned out. Like, I really like it. And so I think I go back with this one here, and I like this one because it has the jacket, but you can see the sleeves are rolled up, and then the button up shirt, the top buttons are unbuttoned a little bit. And so I ended up going with that one because why it is very corporate and businessy, it does have that little laid back touch, and I like that about it. And then I ended up going with a nice pair of jeans with the belt versus slacks because, again, just that touch of laid back style, like, it's still very appropriate, very businessy, but it's not full on corporate, suit and tie level by any means. Like I said, he definitely has has that touch of being a little bit more laid back than others. So, but that's his everyday look. And then for his formal, again the same thing. I didn't want too formal. Like I thought about something like this I liked, but it just was too much, and so I ended up going with this because again the top buttons are undone, and it just seems like, obviously when he was at the event he would definitely probably button up a little bit more, but any chance he got he would be unbuttoning the top buttons, and just kind of going a little bit more casual. And then pretty basic for his workout wear, nothing too baggy or anything like that. Pretty fitted, but again, not too much on the shorts there. He's not that type of guy. But and then sleepwear, just basic sweatpants is what I went with for that. In party wear, I wanted kind of a little bit more laid back. So I think I went with a jacket and a t-shirt under it instead of a button up. Yeah, this one right here. And so still kind of a little bit more businessy vibes, but again a little bit more laid back and not too much. And then again, just a nice pair of jeans with a belt. I thought worked nice, and that's his party look. So a little bit more casual than his formal or everyday wear, but still with that touch of business there. And then his hot weather look is a bit different from everything else. I noticed with everything else, it was a lot of like darker tones. And so for his hot weather look, I went with these pants here, just kind of rolled up. And then I went with like a polo shirt, which I liked, but I almost went with like an open button up shirt, which again I really, really liked. And I kind of wish I had gone with that, but I just thought it was a little too casual. Like he would definitely put on this front, even though he has that casual side. I almost went with this shirt. So even though he has that casual side, I think he would almost put on this front. And so I ended up going with the polo. But it is what it is. And then I thought this was really nice for his cold weather, a nice jacket and then kind of layers underneath. I thought worked really nicely for his cold weather. And then again, just basic pants with the belt, nothing too over the top, but still very nice and clean cut there. And then just a pair of boots for his cold weather look. Nothing, like I said, too over the top. But yeah, that is Joel. And like I said, I did place him down in Willow Creek. I'm going to go ahead and leave you here to enjoy the screenshots, a little glimpse at their build. And we will see you guys on Friday for their build. Have a great week, guys. Bye.